Hello dear students, welcome to maths class. Today we are going to start our new lesson, geometry and algebra, that is the 9th chapter. Okay, and from the chapter coordinates, for this chapter we need some concepts from the chapter, the 6th chapter coordinates. Do you remember the chapter? Yes. So yes, from that chapter we know what are x-axis, y-axis, x coordinates and y coordinates, and what the distance between 2 points in a plane, and the distance formula, you know all that things. Do you remember? And if we know the two vertices of a rectangle, we can find out the other two vertices of that rectangle. Okay, so how do we find that? See, here we have the two vertices of this rectangle, -2 -1 and 3 2. Okay, these are two are the opposite vertices of this rectangle. Okay, then how do we find the second vertex? How do we find this vertex? See, here we know that this line is parallel to the x-axis. Okay, this line is parallel to the x-axis. If a line is parallel to the x-axis, its y-coordinates are equal. Okay, line parallel to x-axis, then the y-coordinates are equal. Then what will be the y-coordinate of this point? Y-coordinate of this point is equal to, yes, -1. Okay, -1. And what about this line? That line is parallel to the y-axis, and if the lines are parallel to y-axis, their x coordinates are same. And for this line, this point 3 2 is a point on this line. Therefore, the x coordinate of this point also equal to 3. Okay, so the coordinates of this point is equal to 3 -1. Similarly, we can find out the fourth vertex. Okay, so see, we know that this line is parallel to the x-axis, so its y-coordinate are same. Okay, here the y-coordinate is 2. The fourth point, for this point also the y-coordinate is equal to 2. Then what about the x-coordinate? The x-coordinate is, see here the x-coordinate is -2. Therefore, for this point also the x-coordinate is -2. So these are all the four vertices of this rectangle. Okay, which are the vertices? -2 2, 3 2, -2 1 and 3 -1. Okay, so we know how to find out the different distance between 2 points in a plane. Okay, and what about the distance formula? Do you remember distance formula? Yes, what is the distance between 2 points? See, here the x coordinates and y coordinates are different. -2, -1, 3 2. X coordinates and y coordinates are different. So in such cases, we are making use of distance formula to find the distance. Okay, what is the distance? See, root of yes, x2 minus x1, that is -2 minus 3 whole square plus -1 minus 2 whole square, that is equal to -2 minus 3 as -5 whole square plus -1 minus 2, that is equal to -3 whole square. Okay, and if we solve that, we get root 34. Okay, this distance is equal to root 34. That is the diagonal of the rectangle. Okay, and in this chapter, as we did in the 6th chapter, here we need to find out the fourth vertices of some other quadrilateral, that is the parallelogram. Here you can see a picture, and this picture, what is this picture? Yes, this one is a parallelogram. What are the specialities of a parallelogram? Yes, in a parallelogram we know that the opposite sides are equal. Okay, opposite sides are equal and opposite sides are parallel. Opposite angles are equal and diagonals are bisects each other. Okay, do you remember all these things? Yes, from 8th standard itself we know all these things. Okay, so to find the fourth vertex of this parallelogram, we need some steps. Okay, So first step is, see, draw two triangles with the opposite sides of this parallelogram as hypotenuse. See, here we draw two triangles. And what about the two right triangles? This one is a right triangle. Similarly, here also we have a right triangle. And for this right triangle, what is the speciality? See, the opposite sides are the hypotenuse of this. Opposite sides of the parallelogram are hypotenuse of this right triangle. Okay, so draw two triangles with the opposite sides of the parallelogram as hypotenuse. Okay, so we draw two right triangles. Okay, two right triangles. So root two right triangles. See, here we have one triangle. Yes, this triangle. Okay, let us name this triangle as, yes, this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. Okay, and we are taking this point as P and this one as Q. Okay, so here we have two triangles. One is APB and other is DQC. Okay, and we know that AB and PC, AB and DC are equal because that two are the opposite sides of the parallelogram. Okay, and also we know that this angle P and this angle Q are equal because that two are the right angles. Okay, or that two angles are the 90-degree angles. Okay, 90-degree angles. And see, children, here we have these two lines are parallel, right? These two lines are parallel. And what about these two lines? Yes, they are also parallel. So in angle between two parallel lines, see, CD and AB are pair of parallel lines. Similarly, this AP and DQ are also parallel lines because this angle is equal to 90-degree. Okay, therefore we can say that these two are parallel lines. Okay, so we have this angle and this angle are equal. So in these two triangles, that is, one is APB and other is DQC, and that two triangles, this angle and this angle are equal. Similarly, these two angles are equal. Then what about the third angles? Yes, these two are the third angles. They are also equal. Okay, they are also equal. So we have all the three angles of the triangles are equal. For the triangle APB and for the triangle DQC, all the angles are equal. Okay, so if we consider this triangle, we have this hypotenuse equal to the hypotenuse of the triangle, and this angle is equal to this angle, and this one is equal to this angle. So we have one side and two angles on it of the triangle APB are equal to one side, and two angles on it of triangle DQC are equal. Therefore we can say that these two triangles are equal triangles. Okay, equal triangles. In equal triangles, we know one thing: the sides opposite to equal angles are equal. The side opposite to equal angles are equal. That means these two sides are equal. See, this angle, the side opposite to this angle is this side, and this equal angle in triangle DQC is this angle CDQ. Okay, that two angles are equal. Then the side opposite to them are also equal. So we have this distance and this distance are equal. Okay, now we are going to find out the coordinates of the points. Okay, see, we know that this line is parallel to x-axis. This line is parallel to x-axis. If a line is parallel to x-axis, what about its y-coordinate? See, here the y-coordinate is 0. Therefore, this point also the y-coordinate is 0. Okay, then this line is parallel to y-axis, and for that line the x coordinate is equal to 6. Then what about the x coordinate of this point? That is equal to 6 itself. So x coordinate of this point is equal to 6, y coordinate is 0. Okay, then what will be the distance between these two points? That is P60 and B62. See, here the x coordinates are same. Okay, x coordinates are same. So what is the distance between them? The distance between them is modulus of the difference in their y coordinates. Okay, that is here the y coordinate is 2, here is 0. So 2 minus 0 is equal to 2. That is, this distance is equal to 2. Then what about this distance? We already know that these two lengths are equal, therefore this distance is also equal to 2. Okay, see, this line is parallel to x-axis, right? This line is parallel to x-axis. And what about this length? See, this line is parallel to x-axis. And what is the, see, here we have, yes, this is 0 0 and this one is equal to 6 0. Then what will be the distance of this AP? This length AP, that is equal to, here the y coordinates are same. Okay, y coordinates are same. Then the modulus of their x coordinate is their distance. So what is the distance? This distance is equal to 6. Okay, then the same distances happen here, right? Same distance, because we know that these two lines are equal. So this is also equal to 6. Okay, then here the x coordinate is 3 and 6 centimeter away, what will be the x coordinate? Yes, x coordinate is equal to 9. Okay, then see, here we have, see, here we have the y coordinate is equal to 5. Then for this line also the y coordinate is equal to 5. And here we can see that the x coordinate is 2 more for this point. 2 more, that is 2 distance away from this point. Okay, x coordinate is, sorry, here we know that this line is parallel to y axis, then their x coordinates are same. For this point also the y coordinate, x coordinate is equal to 9. Okay, then what about their y coordinate? Here the x coordinates are same, y coordinate, yes, 2 difference, that is 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. So that is equal to the fourth vertex of this parallelogram is 9 7. Okay, see, this distance is equal to 6, this one is equal to 2, this distance is equal to 6, this one is equal to 2. So 3 plus 6 9 and y coordinate same, so that is equal to 9 5. And for this line x coordinates are same, so 9 and 5 plus 2 7 are the coordinates. See children, we have an easy method to find the fourth vertex of a parallelogram. See, just look at here. See, here we have 0 0 is the coordinate. Okay, 0 0 is the coordinate. And see, here we have 6 2 is the coordinate. Then what is the increase in x values here? Yes, x changes to 6, right? That is, x changes to 6. And what about y? Y changes to 2. Okay, so there is a change of 6 in the x coordinate and 2, there is a change in 2 in the y coordinates. Okay, same changes will happen here also. See, here the x coordinate is 3 and if 6 changes in the x axis, 6 changes in the x coordinate means the x coordinate is 9 and 2 changes in the y coordinates means 5 plus 2 7. Okay, same thing happen here also. Okay, 0 6 2 0 2. Okay, same, 3 plus 6 is 9, 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. Okay, so we can easily find out this. Okay, no need of this triangle and all. Just look at what change occur in the first two vertices. Same changes will occur in the second pair of vertices. Okay, so keep in mind that, then we can easily find out the answer. So here we have a question. What are the coordinates of the fourth vertex of the parallelogram shown on the right? Okay, so this is very easy. See, here just look at what changes happen to the x coordinates and what changes happen to the y coordinates. The same changes will happen here also. That's only the answer. See, here 1 is changes to 5. Then what is the difference in the x coordinate? Yes, 4. Then 2 plus 4, yes, this coordinate is equal to 6. Okay, here the change in y coordinate is 3 plus 1 is 4. Okay, so same changes will happen here also, that is 5 plus 1 is equal to 6. So 6 6. Okay, this is very easy now. Then second question. The figure shows parallelogram with the coordinates of its vertices. Prove that x1 plus x3 is equal to x2 plus x4 and y1 plus y3 is equal to y2 plus y4. So this is our figure. See, here we have a x1 y1, b x2 y2, c x3 y3 and d x4 y4. Okay, now we are going to draw triangles like this as we did in the last section. Or then what about the coordinates of this point P? See, this line is parallel to the x-axis, so its y coordinates are same. So here the y coordinate is y1. Okay, then this line is parallel to y-axis, then x coordinates are same. Therefore, its coordinate x coordinate is equal to x2. Therefore, the coordinates of the point P is equal to x2 y1. Similarly, here we have the coordinates of Q. Okay, this line is parallel to x-axis, so y coordinates are same, so y4, this one is also equal to y4. And for this line, x coordinates are same because this is parallel to the y-axis. Okay, so its coordinates are x3 y4. Okay, then what about this distance AP? Yes, this distance AP and this distance DQ are equal. Okay, we already know that this distance AP and this distance DQ are equal. Then what about this distance AP? See, what is the length of this line? Here we can see that the y coordinates are same. Okay, y coordinates are same, both are y1. Then if one coordinates in each are equal, then the difference in the non-equal coordinates is the distance between them. Okay, so here y1. So y coordinates are equal, so the difference in their x coordinate is the distance between them. That is, the AP is equal to, see, this AP is equal to x1 minus x2. Okay, the difference in their x coordinate. Similarly, here we have, yes, y4 and here also y4. That means y coordinates are same. Then difference in their x coordinates is their distance. That is x4 minus x3. Okay, and we already know that this AP and DQ are equal. Therefore, we can write AP is equal to QD. That is, this x1 minus x2 and this x4 minus x3 are equal. Then if we rearrange that is, if we keep this x1 here and move this minus x3 to this side become x1 plus x3, and here we already have an x4, and move this minus x to this side, then we have x2 plus x4. Okay, so we have the first part. The first part proof is over. Then second one, see, here we have PB. What is PB? See, PB. What is the length PB? See, here the x coordinates are equal. Therefore, the difference in their y coordinate is the distance between the points. So that is equal to y2 minus y1. Similarly, in QC, here also the x coordinates are x3, x3. Then the difference in their y coordinates, that is y3 minus y4, is the difference in their y coordinate. That is the distance CQ. Okay, and we know that PB and CQ are equal. Okay, PB is equal to CQ. That is y2 minus y1 is equal to y3 minus y4. Okay, then just change this y1 to this side and y1 to this side and y4 to this side. Then we have y2 plus y4 is equal to y1 plus y3, or we can say that y1 plus y3 is equal to y2 plus y4. Okay, hence the proof. Next is, a parallelogram is drawn with the lines joining x1 y1 and x2 y2 to the origin as adjacent side. Okay, to the origin as adjacent side. And what are the coordinate of the fourth vertex? See, here we need the fourth vertex. See, here this is origin. Origin means what are its coordinates? Coordinate 0, 0. Okay, coordinate 0, 0. See, so what change happened here in the x? Yes, x2 changes there in the x coordinate. So same changes will happen here also. But see children, here the x coordinate is x1. So there is an increase of x2 in the x coordinate. So what will be the x coordinate of this point? See, already we have x1. See, this is x1 plus this it changes x2. So the new x coordinate or the x coordinate of the fourth vertex is equal to x1 plus x2. Similarly, see here 0 and a change of y2 happen here. So same change will happen here also. That is, here we have y coordinate is y1 and a change of y2 here. That means the coordinate at that point is equal to y coordinate at that point is equal to y1 plus y2. So the coordinates of this point, that is x1 plus x2 comma y1 plus y2. Okay, and we have two more problems in this section that we will discuss in the class. Okay. Children, our next topic is midpoint of a line. Okay, midpoint of a line. See, here we can see a line. What are the coordinates of the endpoints of this line? Yes, the endpoints of the coordinates of the line are one is 2, 3 and other is 8, 5. So here the first one is, yes, x coordinate is 2, y coordinate is 3. Okay, and here the x coordinate is 8, y coordinate is 5. Then how do we calculate its midpoint? Midpoint means mid of this point. Okay, that is center of this point. How do we find that? Center of this line or the half of this line. How can we locate that? See, here we have the x coordinate 2 and x coordinate 8. Okay, then the x coordinate of the midpoint, x coordinate of the midpoint is average of these two x coordinates, that is 2 plus 8 by 2. Okay, this is equal to 2 plus 8 by 2 and comma, and what about that thing? Yes, y coordinate is 3 plus 5 by 2. Okay, 3 plus 5 by 2, that is 2 plus 8 is equal to 10, 10 by 2 is equal to 5 and 3 plus 5 is equal to 4, 3 plus 5 is equal to 8, 8 by 2 is equal to 4. That is, here the midpoint is equal to 5, 4. So how do we calculate midpoint of a line? Yes, midpoint of a line is the average of x coordinate is the average of the x coordinates of the endpoints and y coordinate of the midpoint is average of the y coordinates of the endpoints. Okay. That is, the midpoint of the line joining x1 y1 and x2 y2 is, see, this is x1 plus x2 by 2 comma y1 plus y2 by 2. Okay, that is average of that x coordinates and average of y coordinate are the coordinates of the midpoint. Okay, so this is the next thing. Midpoint of the line joining x1 y1 and x2 y2 is, yes, their coordinates, the coordinates of the midpoint x1 plus x2 by 2 comma y1 plus y2 by 2. Okay, you just know this thing. Then here we have some problems. Let us do that problem. See, first question. A circle is drawn with the line joining 2, 3 and 6, 5 as diameter. What are the coordinates of the center of the circle? See, here a circle is drawn with the line joining 2, 3, 6, 5 as diameter. 2, 3, 6, 5 as diameter. What are the coordinates of the circle? What are the coordinates of the circle? See, suppose this is the line joining the points 2, 3, 6, 5. See, this is the diameter of the circle. This is the diameter of the circle. Okay, diameter of the circle, this line. The line connecting 2, 3 and 6, 5 is the diameter. Then how do we calculate the center of the circle? See, we know that diameter is double of radius, and radius is actually the length from center to any point on the circle. That means this length and this length should be equal. Then what is that center? Center is actually midpoint. Okay, center is actually the midpoint of the line joining 2, 3 and 6, 5. And how do we calculate the coordinates of the midpoint? Yes, coordinates of the midpoint or coordinates of the center is equal to yes, that are midpoints of the x coordinate and y coordinate. Okay, that is here the x coordinate is 2 and the y coordinate is 6. 2 plus 6 by 2, comma, here the xy coordinate is 3 and here the y coordinate is 5. So 3 plus 5 by 2. So these are the coordinates of the center of the circle. That is 2 plus 6, 8, 8 by 2 is equal to 4, and 3 plus 5, 8, 8 by 2 is equal to 4. That is, thus the coordinates of the center is equal to 4, 4. Now look at this question. The coordinates of two opposite vertices of a parallelogram are 4, 5 and 1, 3. What are the coordinates of the point of intersection of its diagonals? Okay, see here we have a parallelogram. Okay, and here we have the coordinates of the opposite vertices of this parallelogram, and they are 1, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 3, 4, 5 are the coordinates of the opposite vertices of this parallelogram. See, this is one of the diagonal and this one is the second diagonal. And what about the properties of the diagonals of a parallelogram? Yes, the diagonals bisects each other. That means this length and this length should be equal. So the point of intersection of the diagonal is actually the midpoint of these two, midpoint of this line. Okay, midpoint of this line. So how do we calculate the coordinate of that point of intersection? Yes, coordinates of the point of intersection is the midpoint of the line joining 1, 3 and 4, 5. So the coordinates of the point of intersection of the diagonals is equal to, yes, here the diagonals 1, x coordinates are 1, 4, that is 1 plus 4 by 2, and next one is 3 plus 5 by 2. 1 plus 4 is equal to 5, 5 by 2 is equal to 2.5, 3 plus 5 is equal to 8, 8 by 2 is equal to 4. Okay, so the point of intersection of the point of intersection of the diagonal and its coordinates are 2.5, 4 are the coordinates. Okay, so here we have third question and fourth question. Okay, so somewhat similar how to find the midpoint. Okay, that is the coordinate of the vertices of the quadrilateral taken in order are 2, 1, 5, 3, 8, 7 and 4, 9. Find the coordinates of the midpoint of all four sides. Okay, just find out the midpoint of all four sides. That is, one line is connecting 2, 1 and 5, 3. Second side is 5, 3 and 8, 7. Third side 8, 7 and 4, 9. And fourth side is 4, 9 and 2, 1. Okay, find out the midpoint of all these pairs. That is 2, 1, 5, 3, 5, 3, 8, 1, 4, 9 like that. Okay, and prove that the quadrilateral got by joining this midpoint is a parallelogram. Okay, how can we say that it is a parallelogram? If opposite sides are equal, we can say that. Opposite sides are equal and parallel, then we can say that that is a parallelogram. Okay, so do that one as a homework. And for the next one also in the figure, the midpoint of the large quadrilateral. Okay, this question. Do that question also as a homework. Then the next question. The coordinates of the vertices of a triangle are 3, 5, 9, 13 and 10, 6. Prove that this triangle is isosceles. Calculate its area. So this is our triangle with the coordinates A 3, 5, B 10, 6 and C 9, 13. Okay, these are the coordinates. Then how can we prove this one is an isosceles triangle? For that, first we need the length of all the three sides of this triangle. Okay, we have the coordinates and we need to find out its length. How do we find out the distance between these 2 points? For that we have distance formula from this chapter 6. Okay, using distance formula, how do we calculate the distance AB? AB is equal to root of x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square. Here x is equal to 3 and here x1 is equal to 3 and x2 is equal to 10. So 3 minus 10 whole square. Then here y1 is equal to 5 and y2 is equal to 6, that is 5 minus 6 whole square. So 3 minus 10 whole square plus 5 minus 6 whole square, that is equal to root of minus 7 square plus minus 1 square, that is equal to 49 plus 1, which is equal to root 50. Okay, and for BC, that is root of 10 minus 9 whole square plus 6 minus 13 whole square, which is equal to root of 1 square plus minus 7 whole square, that is equal to root of 49 plus 1, which is equal to root 50. Okay, and AC is equal to root of 3 minus 9 whole square plus 5 minus 13 whole square, that is equal to minus 6 whole square plus 8 square, which is equal to 36 plus 64, that is equal to root 100, which is equal to 10. So we have three sides. This is equal to root 50 and this one is also equal to root 50 and this is equal to 10. Okay, this is equal to 10. Since two sides are equal, we can say this one as a isosceles triangle. That is, this triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle because two sides are equal here. Now we need to find out its area. See, here you can see this side is equal to root 50, this one is equal to root 50 and this is equal to 10. See, two sides are equal. Okay, then what about if we consider this, we can see that this root 50 square plus this root 50 square is equal to root 50 square is root 50 square plus root 50 square is equal to 50 plus 50, that is equal to 100, which is equal to 10 square. So we have AB square plus BC square is equal to AC square. So that means this AB, BC and AC are sides of a right triangle. That means our triangle ABC is actually an isosceles right triangle with the hypotenuse 10 centimeter. Okay, this hypotenuse is 10 centimeter. Then how do we find area of a right triangle? Yes, half into length of the perpendicular sides. These two are the perpendicular sides, root 50 and root 50 are the perpendicular sides. So its area is equal to half into B into H, that is half into root 50 into root 50. What is root 50 into root 50? Root 50 into root 50 is equal to 50. Then 50 by 2 is equal to 25 square centimeter. So that is the answer. That is the fifth answer. Next is the center of a circle is 1, 2 and the point on it is 3, 2. Find the coordinates of the other end of the diameter through this point. Okay. We have the center of the circle and a point on the circle. We need to find out the other end of the diameter. Okay. See, this is our circle with the center 1, 2 and a point on it is 3, 2. Okay. We need to find out the other end of the diameter through that point. Okay. So, let the coordinates of the diameter, other end of the diameter be xy. Okay. Other end to be xy. And see, we know that from the first problem we know that this center of the circle is actually the midpoint of the endpoints of the diameter. Okay, that is this 1, 2 is actually the midpoint of this xy and this 3, 2. Okay, that means this x plus 3 by 2 is equal to this x coordinate and this y plus 2 by 2 is the y coordinate here. Okay, that is x plus 3 by 2 is equal to 1. That is, if we cross multiply this, x plus 3 is equal to 2. From this, x is equal to negative 1. Okay, similarly, y plus 2 by 2 is equal to 2. That is, y plus 2 is equal to 4 implies y is equal to 2. Okay, so we have x is equal to negative 1 and y is equal to 2. Therefore, the coordinates of the other end of that diameter is equal to negative 1, 2. Okay, so that is the end of the second exercise of this chapter. Okay, children, thank you.